Any predictions on what prince will die next? To be honest, I think an older prince will die soon as a twist. So let's be honest here. Let's talk about a couple outliers when it comes to the succession war and when we go into the second phase. Like I said, the first phase, all of the people that had literally no right to be king, like what, Salih, who ironically had like one of the greatest guardian spirit beasts of all time. Like he just had to literally reach the banquet. If he didn't die before then, his guardian spirit beast probably would have spread his little like lust smoke everywhere and just had all of the women attracted and admired to him, and all of the men again just like, you know, like we literally saw it with that guard who was next to Rihan before Rihan's predator got it. Salih probably had like one of the best guardian spirit beasts for the purposes of the succession war. However, the people that are going to win are the people that are the ones with the guardian spirit beasts that are not only great for the succession war, but great what comes after, like Nasubi said a long time ago. If you think about it, Salih's little lust smoke was great for the succession war, probably would have been great for building people of his own kingdom, but that doesn't stop people from jumping in and, you know, opposing the Kakin Empire and killing them. Momose, literally nothing. Like her own mother didn't give enough of a fuck about her to keep her safe, and instead put all of the guard to keep Marayam safe, who she's clearly prioritized in and loved in, and is overprotecting the hell out of for some reason that we'll definitely talk about later. Who else died? Unfortunately, Kacho died. But Kacho is proving to be the better of the two princes, the twin princes, Fugetsu and Kacho, right? Kacho is the one that's calling the shots. Fugetsu is literally like holding on to life, holding on to dear life. If it wasn't for Melody and the people around her, she'd kind of be screwed as well. So like Fugetsu has stake in the succession war because Kacho is the better of the two princes. If you think about it, if one of the older princes died, it would mean a lot, because Tubeppa, we still don't know what Tubeppa's guardian spirit beast does, but she is ultimately doing her best to live as long and also just live as peacefully as long. She's really not interested in the fight of the succession war. That's why she wants to make alliances with everybody, have reasons for everybody to keep her alive. And that's also why now that she has the agreement with Kurapika, she's like, all of my guards look like you're hanging out with third prince Zhang Lei, who by the way is also a wild card and a potential death because we still don't know what his guardian spirit beast does either. We know that Tubeppa's has to do with like chemicals, and it also has to do with alliances because it showed up for one when she confirmed the alliance with her and Kurapika, but also there was a little tiny like little glimmer when Tubeppa and Saradnik, however you pronounce it, were at the very first banquet before the war began. When Tubeppa and Saradnik made that alliance, Tubeppa's guardian spirit beast showed up, and so did Saradnik, because Saradnik was checking her for a lie. Tubeppa's guardian spirit beast was showing up specifically because she made an alliance. So we know it's a conditional ability, but we don't know what the ability is. Zhang Lei's is even weirder. Even in this chapter, we still don't even know what it is specifically has to do with his guardian spirit beast, and why I keep spitting out these coins and what the values of these coins mean, and why they're all skyrocketing to 10 now. At first we thought it was the days, but now maybe we're completely wrong, and he doesn't have anyone around him that's smart enough to figure it out, so he wants to talk to Kurapika. As far as who could die next, honestly, I really don't know. With what's set up here, Balsamico being under Hulkenberg's control is absolutely insane, because Hulkenberg's Nen ability is one of the best in the succession war. Hulkenberg has one of the best abilities in the succession war. His possession arrow ability is literally like OP, and that might be what kills Prince Benjamin. Prince Benjamin's guardian spirit beast is super strong, and not only was it able to ward away the evil spirits that were around Fugetsu, we already know Benjamin's a strong Nen user himself. On top of his guardian spirit beast, it's going to be tough to kill him, but Hulkenberg just might be the one to do it with that possession arrow ability that, as far as we know, is confirmed to just ignore all conventional durability and Nen durability whatsoever. It opposes all Hatsu, whether it's defensive, offensive, what it is, because that's how Hulkenberg got that dude Vict, who had like a defensive Hatsu, because he was able to shoot through, and Hulkenberg's guardian spirit beast that just lets him bestow Nen upon all of the people that like are genuinely loyal to him, and the people that aren't genuinely loyal to him just don't gain abilities, like, so he can easily parse out who's trustworthy to him and who's not. Hulkenberg is one of the biggest players in the succession war, especially in this next coming phase, who he may even be abandoning his body. Shit is absolutely insane, but Benjamin is in danger. However, Benjamin, I think, proved this chapter that he's a little bit more formidable than we thought, and Balsamico, who we thought Benjamin was just kind of like the brawn, and Balsamico was the brains, might not just be the case. So Benjamin, I think, will last a little bit longer. Camila, we just saw again for what seems like the longest time. I have high hopes for Camila. Not only is her Nen ability peak as a Nen user even before all of this, I believe we still don't know what her Guardian Spirit Beast does. So it's a manipulating type ability, and then her Nen ability is absolutely insane. Activating after she dies, the cat-like Nen Beast appears behind the killer, squishing them into its paws and extracting their life force, obliterating their body, and then transferring that life to Camila to revive her. And the ability relies on post-mortem Nen to boost its power, rendering Camila virtually impossible to kill. She just has to deal with the trauma and the pain. And this ability may not be limited to one target, as she urged multiple guards to shoot her. Yeah, it's Camilla's OP. So if someone was to attack her and kill her, she would be able to get them back. I'm not really worried about Camila. She's going to be a threat, if not in the second phase, coming in the final phase. Same with Zhang Lei, as I was kind of talking about before, because there's not really much to talk about with Zhang Lei. We don't know what his Guardian Spirit Beast does, but he's either going to become a major threat in the second phase or the final phase, because that ability is definitely a large wild card. Same with Camila. We don't know what her manipulating abilities could potentially mean, but I would worry about her. Saradnik is endgame for sure. Saradnik is literally didn't even want to read Kacho's letter because he's like, sorry, too busy training Nen right now, can't focus. So Saradnik is endgame. And then you just have like the middle princes, which Loserus, we don't know what his game is. We know Loserus has to do with the mafia. I'm not entirely sure what he might have to do. He seems like he might play a much larger role in the second phase, especially with him not fucking with Kacho's letter. Yeah, Loserus could potentially be a major player in the second phase to come, because he's kind of laid low and hasn't had much to do with anything. And his Guardian Nen Beast is pretty OP. Again, I know a lot of people commented on my previous video, on the previous rant, talking about, oh, it definitely can't be Loserus that affected Fugetsu because Guardian Spirit Beast can't attack the princes or the Guardian Spirit Beast, which I completely agree with. Completely right on that. However, if going based off this ability, it's possible it could be inadvertently attacking Fugetsu, and we know that is possible. We know the Nen Beast can inadvertently cause things, so if it laid a trap that Fugetsu later sprung, I don't know. While I'm unlikely to believe Loserus is the one cursing Fugetsu, especially with Benjamin even saying it's not anybody's ability, not that Benjamin is this end-all be-all, but I think Loserus has other cards to play, which I'm excited to see what they are in general. And then that really just leaves like things like Marayam, who I think is more gonna be endgame. With his mother taking full like protection over him, I doubt he's gonna play a card whatsoever until the very end, especially with him potentially being a Netero child. We don't know what makes him so special that she literally reassigned her other daughter's security to focus on him, letting her other daughter die. And while she appears, remorseful, who cares about that, right? So I think he's gonna stay hidden for a very long period of time. But, I mean, who's the next to die? Woble, as long as they're with Kurapika, I'm not worried about Woble. Unless Woble awakens a crazy Guardian Spirit Beast that kills everybody. Imagine Silent Majority was Prince Woble's Guardian Spirit Beast just out crazily. Obviously, Silent Majority has its own thoughts and everything like that, and is clearly someone else in the room. Check out the Silent Majority rant if you didn't see that. But yeah, who's the next to die is tough to say, because this next second, third phase of the Succession War has legitimately some of the highest tier competitors. I mean, obviously, if I had to name the weakest link, I would say Fugetsu. Melody and Kacho and Kaiser can do their best. You also have Tyson. I forgot about Tyson completely. Tyson is probably a very likely candidate to die, because Tyson's Nen Beast is great for like building a cult, but like for being king, probably not. Tyson has no way of like fighting back if someone tries to go against them. Tyson has a bunch of really strong bodyguards, I'm pretty sure, but are they going to be dedicated enough to save her from like Benjamin, from Camila? It's just very unlikely to me. If I had to put anything, it would either be Tyson or unfortunately Fugetsu, despite what everyone may do to try and keep them safe. Hulkenberg, whether Hulkenberg dies or not in the next coming chapters, quote unquote dies, I think Hulkenberg is going to be a major player in the things to come. And if Hulkenberg and Benjamin do meet, that could very well mean the loss of Benjamin. So as strong as Benjamin is and as much of a, hold he's had over the succession war and can have over the succession war, if he does actually put through the martial law that will just literally just, again, put everything in the palm of his hand to where he can strike everyone as he sees fit. Biggest players I'm worried about, Hulkenberg, Saradnik, and at least in my opinion, people that will be important in the final stages are Camila, Zhang Lei. I think the major players of this second phase will be Loserous because we know he's got a fire lit under his ass by thinking that Kacho's letter is fake. Fugetsu and Kacho will be major players. They might die here. Tubeppa, I think, will be a major player in the second phase here, especially when it comes to Karapika. And I think with Zhang Lei, and I think with his little coin ability, we won't see him until later. Will the succession war end completely by the time we get to the new continent and we meet up at the checkpoint and get up with the other hunters that will mess things up even further? Maybe the climax of the succession war will occur in that moment because, again, with Nen abilities like Hulkenberg's and also chaotic evils like Saradnik who just are training to become the strongest people on that boat, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.